Oh my god, she's a weirdo.
Hello, 'tis I, Fat Cow. I'm outside again, which is unheard of. The birds are very, very noisy. It's lovely here too. I should come outside more often. Anyway, that's not the point. Foodie, I know what you're doing. You're having a Western lifestyle funeral. You said in your last life that you missed Western food, that you needed AC, that you're going to stay there until the house is ready. And then you spoke a lot about food, which is not unusual. But then you mentioned you'd be without Western style food for probably about a year. You know, when you move into Salah's house, which you didn't pay for because the house was already bought, but you are paying for it to be updated to your specifications. So that's kind of the same thing. Where, you're waiting for the AC to be installed and the multiple solar panels to fund the AC, and you want the walls painted, and you want your fridge running 24/7 and a decent Wi-Fi, so you can live your idyllic country life in luxury or relative luxury compared to everybody else around you. And you implied that, again, you'll be there for about a year in Syria, in Salah's house, in a country you're not actually living in. Does staying in one place count as living there, perhaps? I mean, if you stay in one domicile for a year, have you lived there? Are you living there? Because I don't know about everybody else, but that sounds like living in Syria to me. Yeah. And then you start going on about how this trip to Qatar and the hotel, you're being frugal, trying to imply that the money you raised for Sasa, you're not spending it, its entirety on this because you're being frugal. Even if you got the cheapest flights and the cheapest hotel, which obviously you're not, because it has AC and room service and Wi-Fi, you're still spending the entirety of the money you raised for Sasa. Go you. It made me think, Windy. It made me think of a couple of historic figures. Okay. Kim Jong Chun and his son Kim Jong, can't remember for the life of me, whose entire country is living in poverty and borderline starvation and is not allowed to consume Western things, not allowed to do Western media, films in general, not allowed to have the internet, not allowed to have, well, any contact with the Western world. Yet Kim Jong has literally the most expensive cars, the most expensive watches, the most expensive. He has a home theatre where he plays Western stuff. He eats, seriously, eats the most expensive foods. He has the most expensive coffee imported, while everyone else around him suffers. Then there's, Tudor monarchy in general, monarchy in general to a point, where everybody else is struggling and starving. Yeah, that's it. The Renaissance. The Renaissance, yeah, where all the kings and the queens and the court of Versailles were having indulgent parties and decadence, spending money on appearances, because appearances were really important. Yet everybody else around them outside of the court were almost dying. You've seen Les Miserables, have you? No, probably not. You have heard of Versailles? You know, the palace that had ceilings decked with gold? You're not some historical figure. Oh, you're not some, despot, tyrannical leader either, Foodie. You're just the epitome of the word glutton on every conceivable level. You're so entitled. You're having a Western lifestyle funeral on other people's dime, on other people's money that was sent for a 9-year-old child with Down syndrome. And I'm going to be honest here, as if I haven't been already. I don't think Sus's parents knew what they were doing. I think you just pushed that child on camera and made an appeal without permission of the parents. Or at the very least, very least, parents not understanding you were asking for money. They probably just thought you were filming Sasa on your phone for nothing. Just filming Sasa, playing with Sasa, not to take in advantage of a 9-year-old child with Down syndrome that doesn't have the mental capacity to understand what's going on. And even if they did, they don't know the language you're speaking in to know what's going on. You've taken advantage of so many Syrian people since you've been there. You're disgusting. See you next Tuesday. I don't use that word very easily, but you are. You're foul. You are vile. Now here's the thing, Foodie. You're very much an all or nothing person, aren't you? It's, I eat fast food or I don't eat fast food. There's no compromise. You decide you go on a diet, but the diet starts tomorrow. So today I can eat whatever the fuck I want because the diet starts tomorrow. You are going to give up fast food, but tomorrow. So today I will eat all the fast food. You know, your fast food funeral. And now you realise you're going to be in Syria for a year and won't have access to readily available, deliverable fast food. And so you're having a Western lifestyle funeral where you can spend a good portion of the time before moving back to Syria enjoying unlimited power, AC, Wi-Fi and all the fast food you can shove down your gullet. You do know fast food. Before, the invention of deliveries, people still ate fast food. You like French fries, you like chips so much, make your own. What do you think we did in the 70s before the invention of the oven chip? You want a burger? Do you have access to minced beef? Because that's how you get burgers. You want a pizza? You can make a bloody pizza. In fact, you've made pizzas. You don't have to deny yourself fast food just because you're somewhere that doesn't do the type of fast food you like, which is made by somebody else and comes directly to your door. You don't have to suffer through this lack of instant gratification. You can make it yourself. You don't have to struggle and suffer in Syria. You're not struggling nor suffering in Syria In fact, you're doing really fucking well compared to almost anybody who lives in Syria. So now I mean this with all sincerity, foodie. Shut the fuck up, okay? You are not roughing it. You are not struggling. You are flashing your almighty dollar and getting things done to suit you when none of these things are actually necessary. You have water, you have power, you have a roof over your head, and you have food, not on the table, because it never makes it that far, does it, before it makes it to your mouth. You should be grateful. You are living better than 50% of the entire planet, if not more. Stop being a martyr. You are not having a difficult time. And the fact that you can just pop over the border whenever you feel like it, feel like having the lifestyle you think you deserve, well, that makes it even worse. Now, as per usual, which is a phrase I hate, by the way, I've been left carrying all the bags. But I've decided to go for a walk because I love the sound of walking on pebbles. I think we've gathered by now that my feelings towards foodie are not exactly favourable. But the level of disgust I feel for this particular individual is quite surprising, actually.